Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive. Today we're tackling something that I think we all struggle with, finding time for healthy eating in our crazy busy lives.
And we've got just the thing, meal prepping.
Meal prepping. It sounds, I don't know, kind of intense, like a lot of work.
I can be, yeah, if you let it, right. But it absolutely doesn't have to be this huge, overwhelming thing. That's what we're going to dig into today using this awesome source we found. It's all about making meal prep actually work for you, not the other way around.
Okay, I like the sound of that. So less about like spending your entire Sunday in the kitchen, more about like strategic cooking.
Exactly. It's not just cooking ahead, but the whole system planning, organizing, all that good stuff that takes the stress out of eating well during the week.
Because we've all been there, right? 5 o'clock rolls around, you're starving, and suddenly cereal for dinner sounds amazing.
Oh, tell me about it. And then you end up spending way too much money ordering takeout or just grabbing whatever's easiest, which isn't always the healthiest.
This source actually mentioned that the average family wastes over $1,500 a year on food. That's wild.
Right. And a lot of that comes down to not planning ahead. So meal prepping can really help cut down on that waste, which means more money in your pocket.
Okay, I'm sold on that benefit alone. But I think what trips people up is the whole, like, where do I even start? Feeling can seem really daunting.
I totally get it. That's why this source emphasizes starting small. Don't try to do everything at once. Pick one meal, like just lunches, maybe just for a couple of days a week.
Yeah, that makes sense. Ease into it. So once we've decided, like, okay, I'm going to prep my lunches, how do we pick recipes that fit into this whole meal prep thing? What are we looking for?
Especially when you're starting out, keep it simple. Things you're already kind of comfortable making, just with a little planning ahead. Think stir fries, those sheet pan meals where everything goes on one tray, salads, basic, easy stuff.
Okay, less intimidating already. But does that mean we're going to be stuck eating the same thing every day? Because that sounds a little boring.
Not at all. There are tons of ways to switch things up. Even with simple recipes, you can get creative with different flavor combos, sauces, toppings. We'll talk about some specific ideas later, but honestly, the possibilities are pretty much endless.
Okay, good. Because variety is key. So now for the gear. What do we absolutely need to have to start meal prepping?
You probably already have the most important stuff, good containers for storing your prepped meals. Airtight is best to keep everything fresh. And of course, your trusty knife and cutting board are always going to be your best friends in the kitchen.
Got it. But let's say, like, I'm feeling inspired, I want to up my meal prep game. What are some fun extras that could make things easier or, I don't know, more exciting?
A food processor is a lifesaver. It can chop veggies in seconds, make homemade hummus. It's amazing for meal prep. And if you're into those hands-off cooking methods, a slow cooker or an Instant Pot can be awesome too. Just throw everything in and let it do its thing.
Sounds pretty tempting, actually. Okay, now we're getting to the nitty-gritty. Creating a meal prep routine that actually works. What are the steps we need to take?
All right, step one is planning your menu. I know. It sounds a little like, planning, right?
Yeah, I'm not the biggest planner in general.
But it doesn't have to be complicated. It's really just about figuring out what you're going to eat each day and making sure each meal has protein, carbs, and healthy fats. That's your macro balance, and it keeps you feeling satisfied and energized.
Okay, I can handle that. So then comes the shopping list, right? My least favorite part of grocery shopping.
But with a good list, it becomes so much easier. No more wandering around aimlessly or buying things you don't need. It saves you time and money for sure. And then the source recommends choosing a specific prep day to, do the bulk of the cooking.
The source mentions both weekends and weeknights. What are the, like, pros and cons of each?
If you have more time on the weekends, that's usually ideal for bigger batch cooking. But maybe you're busy on weekends, or you prefer to spread the work out a bit. In that case, a midweek prep session can be perfect for, like, replenishing your meal stash halfway through the week.
Okay, so it really depends on your own schedule and preferences. Makes sense. Now we've got all this delicious food prepped and ready to go. How do we make sure it stays fresh and safe all week long?
All right, this is where food safety comes in, and it's super important. You always want to let your food cool completely before storing it in those airtight containers. That prevents nasty bacteria from growing and helps everything stay fresh.
And what about the freezer? I'm a big fan of freezing meals for those extra busy days.
The freezer is your best friend when it comes to meal prepping. Soups, stews, chili, you can even freeze things like breakfast burritos. The source has a bunch of great freezer-friendly recipes.
Amazing. Any tips for defrosting those frozen meals?
The safest bet is to thaw them in the fridge overnight. But if you forget, the defrost setting on your microwave can work in a pinch.
Good to know. Okay, this is the part I've been waiting for. Specific meal ideas?
Yeah.
Give us some inspiration.
All right, for breakfast, you can't go wrong with overnight oats. It's seriously the easiest thing ever. Oats, milk, yogurt, your favorite toppings, mix it all up, put it in the fridge, and boom, breakfast is ready when you are.
Like magic. I'm also a big fan of those pre-portioned smoothie packs.
Those are genius. Just portion out your fruits, veggies, protein powder into individual bags beforehand. Then in the morning, all you have to do is blend it with your liquid of choice. So easy and so convenient.
I love that. What about lunch or dinner ideas? Something that's like quick and easy to throw together on a busy weeknight.
Remember those sheet pan meals we talked about earlier? Those are perfect for that.
Yeah.
Just toss some protein, like chicken or fish, onto a baking sheet with your favorite veggies, drizzle with some olive oil and seasonings, roast it in the oven, and dinner is done. Minimal cleanup, too.
Okay, that's definitely going on my list.
Yeah.
And what about snacks? I always get those afternoon cravings.
You gotta try making some energy balls. They're packed with healthy fats, protein, and fiber to keep you going between meals. Think nuts, seeds, dried fruit. The source has a bunch of different variations, but they're all super easy to make and totally customizable.
Sounds delicious and way healthier than that bag of chips I usually reach for.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks. We're basically meal prepping ninjas now.
Right. But let's be real, staying motivated can be a challenge. Even with the best intentions, it's easy to fall off the meal prep wagon. So how do we keep that momentum going?
Yeah, what are some tips for like not getting discouraged and giving up on the whole thing?
This source is all about setting small, achievable goals. Don't try to go from zero to meal prepping hero overnight. Start with just one meal for a couple of days. Once you've mastered that, you can gradually increase your goals.
I've also heard that joining like online meal prep communities can be really helpful for motivation and support.
Oh, definitely. It's a great way to connect with other people who are on the same journey, share ideas, get inspired by new recipes, and just, keep each other accountable.
And of course, make sure you're not eating the same boring meals week after week. Switching up your recipes keeps things interesting.
Variety is key. It's all about finding what works for you, your schedule, your taste preferences. There's no one-size-fits-all approach to meal prepping.
Well said. So there you have it, folks. We've covered the why, the how, and the what of meal prepping. Now it's time to take action.
Think about one small change you can make this week to start your meal prepping journey. Maybe it's trying one new recipe, prepping your breakfast for a few days, or even just making a detailed shopping list. Whatever it is, just take that first step.
You got this. And remember, meal prepping doesn't have to be complicated. It's all about making healthy eating easier and more enjoyable, so you can spend less time in the kitchen and more time doing the things you love. Thanks for joining us for another deep dive, and we'll catch you next time.